Hello friends, welcome to Free Automation Learning channel and my name is Chirag. Today we are going to discuss how we can create a Maven project, and we also try to understand the Maven project structure. Then we will go through how we can run Maven project through Eclipse, through command line, and in this video I just focus how we can run build life cycle through Maven. So basically you should understand about a build life cycle. As we are not a developer, so we do not need to understand build life cycle, but as far as we are a automation tester or we are trying to learn automation, so we should understand the basic concept of build, how this build generated and deploy. As soon as you can understand, when your experience is increased, that automation tester is not strict about automation. They somehow involve in development and other activities. So when you learn any automation tool or any build project management tool, so you should understand how the developers are using that and how it would be beneficial for us, means for automation tester, right? So let me start with first point, which is how to create a first Maven project. Basically, to create a Maven project, we can create Maven project through command prompt or through Eclipse. In this video I just create a Maven project through Eclipse, and how we can run, we will run through command prompt and as well as Eclipse. So this is my Eclipse. Let me open, and this is my as one point I need to share with you, as I'm using this Eclipse for mass release, and the Eclipse which is coming in latest Neon, Mars, our Maven project is present in this Eclipse. If you are using Eclipse, Luna and other Eclipse, old version of Eclipse, then you can see you need to install a plugin, right? So I'm using a Max version of Eclipse, so it is inbuilt in this Eclipse Maven project. And how we can create, we just go new. Let me once again, I clicked on new, and after that I have to click on others. After clicking on others, you can see that if you have a Maven plugin, you should see that a Maven is display inside this. If you do not have a Maven plugin, you just go and install from help, and from market you can install Maven project, right? So as we are using a latest version of Eclipse, in this version all Eclipse has this Maven plugin in it, right? So I select Maven project and I click on next. Here it is asking for me what would be your default workspace location. Are you wanna to save this in workspace location, or you want to give this? I put by use this default. Or here it is asking whether you are create a simple project or not, so I will select this in next window, right? So this is all about the Maven artifact and group ID. So what is a group ID in artifact? It is basically, you can see there is a different project are available for Maven. Maven give default structure for every project. If you want to create web app, you can select this. If you want to create Java developer and you want to create a Java project by using other technology, so you can select that. And as we are using a simple project, so I just select this archetype quick start here, right? And I clicked on next. Here it is asking for about me, what would be our group ID, artifact ID, and this version. So what is a group ID? Group ID is a unique ID of any organization. Suppose I have an organization com.freeautomation, right? So I write this group ID about com.freeautomation. And what is a artifact ID? Artifact ID is that I need to build our source code into a jar file. So what is the name of that jar file? So I put free automation learning jar file over here, right? So what would be your version? Snapshot means it is in developing process, so I use version start from 1.0 snapshot. Snapshot means it is in development phase, right? So after selecting this, I pass group ID, I passed artifact ID, and I passed snapshot version, right? And here is the package. For package which I have selected is generated by default, and I clicked on finish. As soon as I clicked on finish, you can see a Maven project is displayed here, and you would see that M indicate it is a Maven project. And when I expand this, you can see a pom display over here. So what is a pom? Pom is a project object model. I already discussed pom in my previous video. If you do not watch that video, please go and watch. And in this you can see there is a pom. This is an overview of pom, and if there is any dependency, we can select the dependency hierarchy. We can see, we can use effective pom here, right? So basically this is a super pom. And if I click on pom.xml, so you can see all the things. As I am use this pom.xml, so I just told you about what is a pom.xml over here. So this would be a project. Every pom should contains a project. So this is my project, right? This is a model version. This is generated by Maven by default, and this is a group ID, the group ID which we selected when we are creating this project. And this artifact ID, it means my jar file has been generated in free automation learning, and I set 1.0 snapshot version, so it display here. This is the name for my ID, and these are properties. Properties are like that. We need to set any properties which I need to use under this project, so I can set that properties. And by default it gives one dependency. One dependency means when we need to use any external jar file. Here I am using JUnit for this introduction of Maven project, so it gives me a dependency, right? So I will discuss dependency when I create Selenium Maven project and APM Maven project. At that time I will discuss dependency, how we can identify dependency from web, right? In this you can just understand that dependency is the part where we need to use external jar file. We put under that jar file under dependency, right? So this is how the my pom display. And this about the project level. You can see there is a two source folder is generated. One is main Java and other is test Java. The concept of Maven is like that. If you are using a Maven, so all the source code which you put is display under this main test Java, and the code which you want to test, that display under test Java. So we can see that all the basic codes, all the utilities which we create, or the code which we write comes under this main Java, and the test scripts which we want to execute comes under app test Java, right? For this I just want to let me change my test. I'm for verification purpose I just write test is completed. I write this, I will run and this message should display, right? So let me show you how it is working, right? So under main Java all the source code is present under main Java, and under test Java all the tests is displayed, right? So let me run this through pom.xml through Eclipse, right? So I just click and I select maven.test and we will see what will be the output. Okay, so let me first clean this and after that we will run this. So by this we can run our Maven through Eclipse by clicking on pom. We just click on run as you can see there are different display about Maven build, clean, install, test. So we will learn this on later. In this video I just focus on build lifecycle, how the Maven run under build lifecycle. So in this if you can see the clean, it cleans our target folder. What is a target folder? Target folder is that when we compile our code, after that code dot class file has been generated, it display under target folder. So it will clean that jar files and that class files, right? So you can see build is successful, it means it clean, and if you can see the info message deleting target, right? So this is about our target. And if you want to click on install, you want to click on install, you want to click on test, so it will run our execution, right? So let me show you about the my project. So this is my workspace and these are free automation learning, and there is a pom which we have created, right? So let me navigate to this and open command prompt. So in this I just first wanted to run as Maven, and after that Maven I will run validate. So let me open the documents. So I'm in this part, right? I am running my run build lifecycle. So first is a validate. Validate is that I have write all code, and now I want to validate whether that is all the source file, all the dependency are present or not. If it is run successfully, then I will validate whether that all source code are present is not. So ambient validate. If I run and I see that build successful, it means my all code is validated successfully. Now you can see here there would be no target folders present here. When I write compile, then our target folder is displayed here, and after that you can see classes and free automation learning. This app.class file has display here, right? So it compile my code under target folder, and this is all about our compile, right? So I validate my code, I compile my code, now I need to test my code whether my code has working fine or not. It means I wanna to run my test script over here. So I put mvn test and we will see what will be the output, right? So you can see it runs a class file which is com free automation learning app test, and test is completed, right? One test is present here and it is run. If I click on this and I can scroll down and there is a test is completed, so you can see that my test script which is present under test folder is run successfully. So it means first we validate, after that I compile, after that I test my code that my test scripts are working fine or not. Now I am just wanna to, if I will click on and go to target, you can see that reports, so this surefire reports is generated. It is .xml and .document. So you can see all the information is displayed under this report section, right? After that I need to create our code into a jar file. I need to, it depends on jar file or it depends on war file how you are pack your code, right? So this is my fourth, how you package your code, right? So I'm packaging, when I use mvn package, then it will package into jar. How it will identify? It will identify from here as we put jar over here. So it create a free automation learning .jar file, right? So in this way we can create our jar file through Maven, and you can see it is so easy to create. So why I'm just telling this code, this information build lifecycle you, because in automation you might need or not, it depends on your the framework, but as per you are an automation developer, you should know about the Maven tool by heartly, right? So I am just create jar file. So I put mvn dot package, and you can see first it compiles, second it test, and it runs, created a jar file. If you can watch this, it created a jar file over under target project, right? So just go and see, you can see the jar file has been generated over here, right? So we have validate our code, we have compile our code, we have test our code, we have package, we have created our jar file. Now we can verify that whether my jar file is generated fine or not. So I use mvn verify, and you can see that build dot successful. It means my verification is completed and it passed successfully, right? After that we have to install. Install means that we need to put my jar file under my local repository. So I discussed in previous video about a local repository. Guys who do not know that local repository, central repository, web repository of Maven, just go and watch my previous video. In this video I'm just going to show you that this free automation learning is automatically installed in this repository, right? So how it will work? It will, when I click on cls mvn install, so you can see that it put overs here in this location. It installed c user m.to repository.com free automation learning, and this would my jar file. I'm m.2 repository com free automation learning, and this would be my jar file present over here. So this is the install, and these are build life cycle for to install our jar file on local repository. So you can see that we can put our any code, and we want to create a jar file. For that we just go and follow this instruction. We can create it a jar file, and we can give that jar file to any developer or any manual tester or any other person. So it is so easy by using a Maven. So hopefully you understand how we can create Maven, how we can run Maven through Eclipse, and understand the Maven structure, project structure. And the main thing is how we can run Maven build life cycle through command line. So hopefully you understand the concept, and thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share this video, and you need like my work, please subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye, take care.